Chat tales. Don't you wanna hear some chat tales? Chat tales. Howdy doody pee. What is happening? You're doing good. Okay, sweet people. All right, I'm gonna tell you a little tale about a pal of mine called Frankie. Right, this is quite a funny one. Actually, this is one of two stories with the same sort of outcome, but yeah, this is the first. So I've got a pal called Frank who is not any kind of drinker in the world at all, ever. He's not a drinker. And this particular time, now we live pretty close to each other, me and Frank, like growing up together and that. But this particular time, my old man gave me a call and said he was down a pub called the Old Oak in Gospel Oak, Kentish Town. He was with some pals, Theo, and I can't remember who else, but he gave me a call and he just said, "What you doing, son? Fancy coming down a pub having a couple of pints?" I said, "Yeah, that sounds good." I said to him, "I'm with Frank, but my dad, yeah, he proper like Frank." So when I said I was with him, he's like, "Yeah, sweet, bring him down." So basically said to Frank, "Let's go down the Old Oak." He said, "All right." So we went down and we went in to the pub, sat down with my dad and his mates and that, and then whoever it was that was going to the bar sort of said, "Right, what we drinking?" And I just said, "I'll just have a pint of lager, whatever they've got on draft." And Franklin sort of said, "I'll just have a Coke. I'll have a Coke. Yeah, I don't really fancy drinking tonight, so I'll just have a Coke." So at this time, that's fine. Don't have to have a drink, you know what I mean? So they went to the bar, come back with the drinks. I started slurping my pint nicely, and Frank was drinking his Coke, and everyone was chatting away and all that, and it was all going sweet. And then Theo said, I just asked Frank, "Why are you not drinking tonight, Frank?" And the thing with Frank is he won't just say, "Look, I'm not a drinker. I don't really drink." You know what I mean? He has to act a bit like, "No, I had enough last weekend," or whatever. "I don't really fancy it tonight for you, mate. I'm sweet. Yeah, leave me out. I'm all right." And then I made a little remark like saying, "He's not drinking because he's a lightweight." And then like where I've said that in front of my dad and his pals and that, and everyone's sort of looking at Frank, and then Frank's like, "Oh, shut up, Chapman. You know what I mean? I'll drink you under the table, mate." And I said, "Oh, would you really, Frank?" I was like, "You probably drink everyone under the table, wouldn't you?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'll drink all of you under the table." Well, it's so funny because Theo said, "Oh, you'd drink me under the table, would you, Frank?" And he's like, "Yeah, mate, I'll drink you under the table." So he goes, "Oh, do you want to put that to a test, do you?" And then it was like Frank was just in this place where to keep face, he couldn't back down, you know what I mean? So Theo's like, "Well, look, let's have a go on the old tequilas, eh?" And Frank's like, "Yeah, all right, sweet, let's have a go on the old tequilas." So Theo's gone away to the bar, and we're just sitting there like, and even my dad's saying to Frank, "You don't have to do this, Frank." But Frank was like, you know what I mean? He had to keep face. That's it. He had to keep face. So Theo's come back from the bar with a tray, yeah, and it's got like 30 shots of tequila on this tray, yeah, and he's got about 6 lemons and a big thing a pot of salt. And I was like, oh my God, what is going on here? This is nuts. So, like, Franklin's actually, he seemed to know how to do tequilas, like, what, you know what I mean? Like, lick the salt, down the shot, and then stick the wedge of lemon in your mouth or whatever. I think it's that way around. No, I'm forgetting. Is it lemon, tequila, salt? No, it's salt, tequila, lemon, I think. Yeah. So Frank's like, all right, sweet, let's go. So they sitting at the table, look at each other, right? So Theo's gone first. Boom, shot of tequila down the hatch, turned the cup upside down, and then just sat there looking at Franklin. So Frank's like, all right, sweet. So like, he's put a bit of salt on his palm. I mean, on the back of his hand, sorry, and like licked it off. And then like he's picked up this glass and he's done the shot. And then I just quickly shoved the lemon in his mouth, like, and I was looking at him, and he seemed to be all right with it, to tell you the truth. Like, for someone that doesn't drink ever, yeah, he seemed to be pretty sweet with everything. And so Theo's took his next glass and that, and then Theo's like, hardcore, do you want more? Because I don't even think Theo was bothering with the salt at all. He was just down it, and then a bit of lemon in his mouth, whatever, take the flavour away. But yeah, so he's done one, and Frank's gone, and then he's gone, Frank's gone, he's gone, and Frank's gone. Anyway, they didn't do the whole 15 each. I think they got to about 9 each. And then the other like shots that were there, everybody else just like had 1 or 2 each, you know what I mean? I think I even had 1. But so Frank is sitting there, and like, I could just tell that he was steaming, and it was like close to like closing time, and my dad was going somewhere with his pals or whatever. So I sort of stood up and I said, right, nice one. Me and Frank are gonna walk towards where we live, and I'll see you soon. And they was like, all right, nice one. But Franklin was pretty like holding it together as we was leaving the pub, and then we got onto Golden House Road, and he just was he was fucked. Now, if you go and ask him, he will tell you that he drunk Theo under the table, and then he went home and he was sweet as a nut. But I'll tell you, he was fucked. You know what I mean? I'd only had like 2 or 3 pints and 1 tequila, and I was quite drunk myself, you know what I mean? But so he basically, we walked up Golden House Road, and like by the time we got to where Highgate Road is, he was pretty drunk, like, and I was like, oh fucking hell, because I didn't want his mum to kill me, you know what I mean? Like, being some bad influence on him or whatever. But yeah, I remember, like, because his house is not far from Highgate Road, and we sort of like I just walked around with him to where he lives and that, and then I sort of said to him, I'm going to shoot off because I don't want to be seeing no parents or anything coming out, you know what I mean? And he was like, yeah, I'm all right, mate. And I said, all right, sweet, I'll call you tomorrow and we'll meet up and do something tomorrow. Saying, yeah, mate. And he's like, yeah, sweet, nice one. And then he's like gone home, and then I've carried on and gone home because I only live around the corner or whatever. But I don't really know what happened when he got in his ass and see his mum, and I don't know how hard he got punched in the face, but nah, don't be silly. He would have just, I don't know, gone home, fell asleep and woke up with a bit of an headache or whatever, and just, but yeah, it was so funny, like, and it was just like to see Frank, like, not he can't lose face, Frank. You just can't lose face, you know what I mean? Like, he can't just turn around and say, look, I can't do this. So he's like, boom, matched him. And then when we left the pub, kept facing till he was out of sight of them, and then he crumbled. Yeah, nice. All right, well, that's one of two little stories I've got about Frank drinking. Probably like the only 2 times in his life he's had a drink. But we will tell the other one very soon. But yeah, nice one. Thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed. And yeah, Frank, if you listen to this, go on, put some comments underneath and let people know what your half of the story says. All right, mate. Nice one. Sweet. Chat tales. Don't you wanna hear some chat tales?